everyone. This is me, Ritoma, your host and your host for you again. Today we have another special guest who will talk about VMS supply chain and who will give you a ray of hope on automotive industry and some insiders about automotive industry, vehicle management, and etc. Our guest today, Mr. Aditya. So, Aditya comes from a very rich background as he's a seasoned professional who excels in driving business growth through SAP innovation, particularly in S4 HANA implementation settings. With a background in electrical engineering and masters in business management from Pune, India, he brings over 14 years of rich experience in both manufacturing and in IT industries. Aditya has spearheaded numerous end-to-end S4HANA implementation projects encompassing global template development for order to cash, logistic execution, seamless integration across various business functions. Presently, he serves as a SAP consultant at KPMG UK LLP in London, specializing in SAP S4HANA consulting and advisory. Let's invite Aditya. Hello, Aditya.
Hello, Ritama. Morning, afternoon.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing amazing. I'm super happy that you have come to our show. You have taken your time out for this show, and it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you here again.
No, it's a great thing. Thanks for having me here. I'm looking forward to it to share my experience and learn something new. I have never done it before, but yeah, let's see how how we go together
I'm
forward.
sure. I'm sure this is gonna be as smooth as fun and very much knowledgeable at the same time. So I'm hoping so. Before I start with the list of questions I have for you regarding supply VMS supply chain, if you could tell me your trajectory of your career, how it started, and how you ended up being an S4 HANA implementation consultant, and with 14 years of experience. So if you can tell me the like little snippets of your
Yes.
career trajectory. Yeah.
Okay. So you will be taking me in a memory lane. Okay. So
Yes.
I started my career, or I'll say I did my engineering, did my MBA.
Okay.
And after my MBA, I started my career with Hindustan Motors Limited. It's an automotive manufacturing firm, and they
Okay.
used to make ambassador cars
Mhm.
at that time.
Right.
Uh, Hindustan Motors also into distribution or import of the Mitsubishi vehicle. So if you see Mitsubishi Pajero, Sedia, Lancer,
Yeah.
they all are part of the HM family.
Right.
So I started from there. I learned the how vehicle manufacturing actually happens. I have seen with my eyes there, and during that journey, I moved to this vehicle sales. Eventually,
Yeah.
I was part of the West Zone, looking after for vehicle sales in Mumbai, Gujarat, Mumbai, Maharashtra, and Gujarat as well. During that time, I had a keen passion towards IT, and they were doing SAP implementation as well. So I
Right.
learned my SAP skills during that time. I did my certification and started my career with Tech Mahindra initially. But Bangalore, I was working for one of the healthcare manufacturing firm in the supply chain area, where they were doing the parts, spare parts supply chain.
All
So,
right.
for healthcare, the spare part supply is very crucial because if any medical machine is having a downtime, it
Yeah.
has to get repaired very quickly. So the time
Exactly.
was very crucial for all these things. So I learned those things there, moved to a different company, and moved to Pune as well at that time. And I spent major time with TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. And with TCS, I got to work with one of the UK's leading automotive manufacturer. And that's where I learned VMS actually, and spent almost 7 years within VMS. Initially, I was sales and distribution consultant, and we did ECC implementation for them. Eventually, we built a template, we rolled out that template to different markets, and then I moved to a different. automotive customer via TCS. It was a Japan's major automotive manufacturer, and we did a S4 template for them so that they can take that template to different markets and different plants as well.
Right.
And throughout this journey, because VMS cut across us through your procurement, your finance, your material management, everything. So I got exposed to all these things and become a supply chain consultant. So eventually, you need a little bit of time when you grow in your career.
Right.
So that's how the journey has been. I joined KPMG around a year back in S4 consulting and advisory. We usually do uh, advisory for S4 pre-assessments, how you assess and go for S4 HANA, what components you need, these kind of things I usually take part into. So that's how my journey has been so far. Currently, I'm based out of Swindon, UK, and my office is in London. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's wonderful. Actually, this is the career graph you were sharing with us is something that you genuinely wanted to do from the beginning. I can see that you were very excited. You were very happy to do what you wanted to. So this is most important. When I see any successful people and I talk to successful people, they show their passion and love for their job, their career, and their innate passion. So that was completely portrayed over here. So the I'll now jump into the questions because I'm like literally waiting that okay, I have to ask you questions like my first question goes like, what are some key features of SAP VMS that empowers automotive importers to adapt quickly to changing customer demands and production schedules?
Okay. So, see, in any business, we say customer is king. And
Right.
when it comes to automotive, because the value of the product is very high, we need to treat the customer as king. So,
Correct.
um, it empowers your business or business users to interact with your end customers very smoothly, understand their requirements, commit to timelines which you can manage. Because when you are committing a time to your customers, you have to have meet those expectations. And if you look at the current automotive buyer cycle, the customer demands are changing very frequently. They want different colors, they want different features, and a lot of people or a lot of customer they want to customize their vehicle for their comfort.
Right.
So all these things you can very much achieve in VMS. It also gives you a very good capability to integrate seamlessly with your procurement. So let's start from demand forecast. So it gives you a seamless uh, capability for demand forecasting. Based on demand, you can commit your sales. When you are selling, you can have procurement, FI, material management. Everything is seamlessly integrated in the VMS suite. Hence it gives you a very good flexibility to meet the customer demand, give a projection to your production schedule. So if you are an importer, you can share those demands well in advance with your OEM, original equipment manufacturers. If you are an OEM, you can have VMS integrated with different SAP suites, which is like PPDS or SAP IBP for your entire planning. And then it can give you a very good edge to meet the market demand. So that's how it basically integrates. It helps you to integrate with customer demand very easily. It
Seamless.
it flex, and then you can have your production schedules running through completely with your demand.
Right. So, could you please elaborate on the benefits on using SAP VMS for tracking and managing both new and used vehicle sales within the automotive industry?
Um, okay, so see VMS, how SAP has designed VMS, it has broken down the entire process. So vehicle goes from very different stages of a life cycle. So
Absolutely.
we call it vehicle life cycle.
Right.
So from the inception to the final delivery, or we call it handover to the customer, vehicle goes from a different stages. And
Right.
all that stages you can map in VMS, put certain controls to it, because controlling that vehicle life cycle is very important.
Absolutely.
And uh, it gives you a very good control over the vehicle life cycle. Now let's talk about the new vehicle first, and then we'll jump on to the used vehicle.
Sure.
So when let's say you are an importer, you want to import, so you have a demand forecast with you. You can
Right.
log all those demand in VMS via vehicle creation. That can get visible to your OEM, and you can choose different OEMs as well. So if you want to source from different OEMs, you can use one single system and can send the data to them. It's very much integrated with different OEMs. OEMs can have that visibility. And if say vehicle is moving, so vehicle inception happened, vehicle got created, now it is moving for the assembly line and getting built. During all these cycles, if OEM wants, they can keep the importer informed about that. Your vehicle has reached to this stage, it will take this much of time, now it is at this stage. And all these things can be very easily with a single window operation, which is very important. Okay, can be configured in VMS.
Mm-hmm.
And an importer can also have visibility. If you are not sending the data, you
Right.
can provide importer a login, which is a web-based or Fiori app. They can also go check their vehicle at which state it is. If they want to commit certain things to customer, they can do that.
Got it.
So new vehicle also have a little bit of a complexity because it crosses border. There are certain pre-delivery inspections which are required. So all these things you can manage in vehicle seamlessly. Now
Right.
let's talk about used vehicle. So once you sell the vehicle, usually we have a concept of leasing a vehicle. So you can lease out the vehicle for 3 years or 5 years. Okay.
Okay.
So when you lease out the vehicle, say
Mm-hmm.
for 3 years, you also try to maintain it little bit.
Right.
If
Right.
it is coming for any service, you can track the history of that vehicle, and
Mm-hmm.
or you expect, the importer can expect that at what time my lease is going to expire and I can expect the vehicle back. You can configure it to send certain alerts, triggers.
Right.
And when you are having the vehicle back, you probably need to do some rework on it to sell that vehicle as a used vehicle in the market again. You
Okay.
can plan your workforce around that.
So is leasing a vehicle now currently works in India, or is it concept happens in London and in the European
Okay,
places?
so yes, Maruti has also given a concept of lease vehicle now. They are coming up with concept in India, but
Mm-hmm.
it is more popular around European countries and North America. Yes, so leasing a vehicle is also a concept where the customer gets a very good flexibility. So
Right.
the moment you have a new variant or a new vehicle coming in, either you can switch over to new vehicle at some point in time, or
Right.
say your requirement has changed, your family has grown, you need a bigger vehicle. So at the end of 3 year, you can return that vehicle and take a new vehicle with your specification and requirements.
This
So
episode is gonna be so happening for the people who are into this automotive industry and into vehicle, like love cars.
definitely, I mean, uh, the changing customer demand, the whole idea is around customers.
Right.
So if they are having changing needs, um, they are having changing preferences. Maybe tomorrow, say my family grows, my daughter has a specific color requirement. I I want to change my vehicle. It's an easy concept. You can go ahead, check with your dealer, and you can get it sorted out.
Right. Absolutely. All right.
Now,
Uh, Yeah, you're saying, sorry.
No, no. So that's how the used vehicle gives you, or VMS enables you for the used vehicle as well.
That this concept is very new and fresh, and it's with every episode I learn new things. So this is one of those things again. So how does SAP VMS enhance efficiency and flexibility in vehicle procurement processes for automotive importers?
Yes. So see, usually, so when this automotive cycle revolves around three or four entities, and we call it B2B transactions, which is OEM, original equipment manufacturer, then importers. So you have very large importers based out of Middle East, African continents. They are kind of a very big giant, which are very close to an OEM. So their transactions are very high. And then we have usual concept which we see in India as dealers. And after dealers, we have service outlets as well nowadays. So you will say a dealership which usually sells car and service the car. Now we also have a concept of service dealership which only services the car. You will see a lot of Maruti service centers or Hyundai service center which are specifically for the service. They don't do selling of the cars. So
Right.
these four entities has to talk to each other if they want to optimize the market very efficiently. Now,
Right.
efficiency also brings the concept of time-based ordering and fulfillment, and that's how
Right.
you calculate the efficiency. It has to be timed. And I'll say a customer walks in. Uh, Usually, a vehicle build takes a lot of time, 3 to 6 months time, because it goes a lot of planning behind that. And it's not only about the cars. There are farm equipments. There are specific equipments which are, say, for mining industry, for earth moving industry. They are very specific. They are custom built for customer requirements. So all these things can be easily planned in VMS. So customer can give their demand. They can check what are the vehicle options available for them, how much variation can be possible with the variant configuration. And when they select, they can get a quote which is very close to their expected price. So they can do all that variation. And so a lot of time what happens, the business need to do a lot of to and fro in quotation, because I want this, no, we cannot give you this. Then a lot of paperwork needs to be done at that time. Now
Right.
you can just go in VMS, select different characteristics. It will give you a price. If the customer agrees, you can froze the order, send it to OEM for the bid. It's that
Wow.
seamless and that flexible.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So
So
that
that's what.
brings your efficiency in the entire process. And definitely, when you are tracking the vehicle, you can give a right commitments to your customers, and you can fulfill that on time.
Absolutely. Right. Right.
Sorry, I'll
Yeah.
just would like to add one more point. There is a growing concept of pre-ordering and managing customer expectations. I'll give you one example around that. So, say a young guy wants to have a bike on his birthday, which is very close. So, you cannot really fulfill that commitment in a very short span. So, what now dealers are trying to do is they pre-order a vehicle around the base color, which is slightly popular in the market.
Right.
If a customer wants a different color, they can do a different pack. We call it derivative pack, and they can change, say, styling on the fuel tank, on the side panels, and other things, and they can fulfill the customer demand with a specific color. So you have ordered a bike around 3 months back, but you can deliver to your customer in a specific requirement in a week or two. So,
Yeah.
so that's how it's a growing trend in the industry, which is taking place.
Right. Few months back, I had gone to this Kia showroom to see that Kia Sonet cars too, and how what are their availability, and how long is the waiting time, but they have so much waiting time now that they are like saying, "Okay, ma'am, you will get the car in 2026," and this is the kind of the happens that thing exactly. Like, just imagine how people are feeling like, okay, they want to buy a car, right, like after next month for a birthday present or for anniversary or for something. They have to wait, and they don't know the correct time and the date when they can expect it. So with this system of VMS, it is so much easier for the dealers, most basically, to give a proper number of the or the date to the
Yes.
customer, so that we genuinely expect it then. Because car is is not just a depreciating asset, but it's also an emotion for a lot of people, like, genuinely. So now let's go to the next question. How does SAP VMS facilitates seamless integration and collaboration between automotive importers, OEMs, and dealers in the sales and distribution process?
Okay. So we have been talking about like the demand forecast usually happens at the dealer or the OEM level.
Right.
So dealer can, so if you are an OEM,
Mm-hmm.
you have implemented VMS, you can
Mm-hmm.
facilitate your dealers with a dealer related access, and dealers can go log into the portal, put their demands well in advance so that OEMs can plan their vehicle build cycle, because every vehicle comprises of maybe hundreds and thousands of components. For
Right.
that you will be having tier 1 vendors. Tier 1 vendors might have the tier 2 vendors as well. So say, for if you remember, there was a crunch of chips during COVID times, and the vehicle build was impacted because of that.
Right.
So the entire process takes a lot of time. So if you are able to forecast your demand,
Right.
you are you will be able to meet the customer expectation and beat the market. That's we call it. Now if everything is seamlessly integrated, everyone can see their portion of the pie and can act upon it.
Right.
So that's how it gives a very good empowerment to the individual entities,
Right.
so that they can play their role for the entire vehicle life cycle,
Absolutely.
including your dealers, your OEMs, and your tier one vendors. If even if you want to share certain things to your tier one vendors, you can definitely do that. So if you want to flex your muscle around these things, yes, definitely you can do that. Sales and distribution is core around how vehicle is moving. So every time you cannot build a vehicle in a specific country, because when we talk about European continent, a lot of import has to happen.
Right.
If you talk about UK, maybe there is a import which is happening, and
Right.
import usually involves a lot of time during the transit.
Right.
For sales, you need to understand where is your vehicle. If it's on the ship, it's on the port, whether it has left the importing country or not. So all these things you can have a seamless integration around different parties, and can achieve a very good sales and distribution process around these things. Even when you hand over your vehicle to the end customer, so say vehicle
Right.
has reached, you have handed over to your customer, you can still track those vehicles, if it is coming back for warranty, if it is coming back for any issues, and if you want to issue any warning, any kind of replacement, anything you want to do, you have your set of vehicle, that these are the vehicles which are impacted with an issue. This is where I need to send out the communication. These are the vehicles has to get updated with certain things. You can do the recall of those vehicles, get them updated. Everything you can track in VMS. So it gives a very good experience to the customer.
That's wonderful. Like, it's like a vehicle is born, and till the vehicle is like expired to the last day, the VMS can track everything, whether that vehicle
Yeah.
needs servicing and everything. So it's just the life cycle of a vehicle for the VMS. Okay, so now I jump to the next question. Can you discuss the role of SAP VMS in enabling just-in-time GIT inventory management and reducing warehouse stocks for vehicle importers?
Okay, that's a very important question. So just in time is a very big concept actually. So we'll try and break it up. So
Sure.
one is vehicle inventory. So VMS gives you a very good visibility of vehicle inventory.
Right.
Every vehicle, if you talk about very high-end cars, which is like Jaguar, Land Rovers, or Maserati, all these things, they are very, very costly as well as very customized.
Yes.
So if you have built, usually they are made to order, but even if you have built certain vehicles you have in stock, if a customer walks in, it is very difficult for you to check what configuration of the vehicle customer is looking and what you have in your inventory. With VMS, with one click, you can generate a report, understand, okay, this vehicle has these many features. You can, put it to your customer. And sometimes if customer is in urgency of buying a vehicle, you can actually sold your inventory or a dead stock, which was not moving for some time,
Right.
and you can actually leverage on these things. So inventory visibility is very crucial.
Right.
So you understand what you have, what you want to sell, and how you can bridge those gaps in the customer expectation and what you have currently in the stock. So you can definitely move your desk stock very quickly with VMS.
Right.
Second is just in time is probably VMS can collaborate seamlessly with other SAP modules, which are PPDS, production planning and detailed scheduling, or SAP IBP, and can give them a very good idea about the demand in a specific market, so that a detailed scheduling can take place. Vehicle build with that, customers are getting vehicle
Right.
at the committed time, as well as OEMs get benefit so that they order the relevant parts for the vehicle build. Sometimes what
Absolutely.
happens, the market demand is changing so rapidly, the
Absolutely.
OEMs are having some dead stock in their inventory because of change in need or change in customer preferences.
Right.
Vehicle VMS also gives a flexibility to dealers to change the vehicle in a changing window. So there is a change window.
Okay.
Say a dealer has ordered certain vehicles 6 months before. They will
Okay.
not immediately go for the build. The sourcing
Right.
will take place, it will take some time. So there is a
Okay.
changing window. Dealer can go update those vehicles very quickly and can
Okay.
share, and that information will quickly pass on to OEM, so they'll know, oh yes, there are some change in preferences, and they can forecast their suppliers and tell them, no, A material, I don't want this, now we want B. So change in demands can help achieve OEMs a moving inventory, reducing dead stock, and then they can achieve a just in time kind of a concept slowly.
Right. And I don't think any customer I have seen, or close or far relative or friends I have seen, that they have they just went to the showroom, they liked a car and they came back, bought the car and came back. They have to do some kind of customization, some kind of changes for the car which they buy. So this is, it depends on every customer to customer basis. It changes. That's pretty awesome. So now I want to go to the next question. How does SAP VMS support the optimization of service processing and after sales support of vehicles in the automotive supply chain?
Okay. So after sales and service, we'll try and break it into two parts. So after sales, when you have sold the vehicle, you want to promote certain warranties around it. So usually you have service plans attached to the vehicles. Maybe or you also give certain warranty. Maybe it is like 2 years, 50,000 kilometers, or 3 years, 100,000 kilometers, whatever it is. So you try and build a service plan. And if a customer wants, he can buy an extended warranty as well. So initially, the OEM is giving 3 years. Customer wants additional 2 years. You can have, vehicle covered for 5 years warranty,
Yeah.
and you can go for that. So these after sales plans you can attach to those vehicle. You can understand, okay, this vehicle is actually covered for 5 years,
Right.
and this gives a peace of mind to both the parties, to dealers as well as to customer, because customer is covered for 5 years. Dealer knows that I have to service this vehicle for the good upkeep of certain vehicle, so he can have certain alerts baked into the system, so that he understand, okay, now the vehicle has covered or might have covered these many kilometers, almost a year. Previously I have done the service, now it's time to do the service, so that the vehicle upkeep is very good. It
Right.
keeps running very smoothly.
Right.
So that's kind of after sales. You can also have service booked in for those vehicles. So uh, there is different modules in SAP as well. So SAP warranty, where you can, when a vehicle comes for the service, you really want to check whether you want to do certain things as part of service, or it's chargeable to customer. Usually, if you take the vehicle for service, they give you an estimate around that this is how much they are going to charge you for the service. But if you have implemented VMS and warranty both, you can quickly check whether these things are covered in warranty or not, and you can give a very precise amount to your customer. Or you can say, everything is free of charge, and you can have that customer delight for your
Right.
customers.
Right.
So
So it's a one-stop solution for
yes,
everything, like from the insurance of the car to tracking the car for till it's delivered to the customer.
yes.
So
So
it's
vehicle, even after vehicle handover, when we say, so usually handover happens at the sale. Once handover is done, your aftermarket things kicks in, and within the aftermarket, and there is very important element. Sometimes you might have seen vehicle recalls. So uh, OEMs have identified that there is a specific issue with the vehicle, which they want to recall and fix that particular issue. It might be with the exhaust, it can be anything for that matter. So how you will identify the set which customers you need to call and get the vehicle in and replace the thing? How will you build a kit for those replacements? That's a very tedious task. So if you have VMS implemented, you can identify those vehicles that, with this particular engine number, with this particular vehicle. So we every vehicle has a vehicle identification number. So
right.
with VIN, you can actually track all those vehicles. You can understand in which specific locations you have sold, in which specific geography you have exported those vehicles. You can identify. You can also build certain kits to ship to those countries for the replacement. So you understand, this vehicle is specifically using this particular kit,
Yeah.
and this needs a replacement, so you can order those many kits, ship to those locations, so that dealers can replace. So recall take it's a very tedious task. It costs a lot of money to OEMs,
Right.
but VMS, you can reduce it to a certain extent in terms of tracking, understanding, paperwork. All these
Right.
things can be reduced with VMS.
Wow. Now, okay, this is sadly the last question. I wanted to know so much more, but yeah, that's all right. What role does SAP VMS play in enabling vehicle configuration and customization to meet a specific customer requirement?
Okay. That's a very big topic actually, and it cut across production planning, material management, and all that. And we probably need 30 minutes itself for this kind of a question. But see, customer demand every vehicle, or say, when we say vehicle, we usually imagine cars. And
Right.
VMS is not only about the cars or SUVs. There
Yeah.
are different vehicles which are, say, uh, large passenger vehicles, goods moving vehicles, farm equipments,
Right.
mining equipments, earth moving vehicles. All this,
Right.
it's everything can be handled via VMS. So I'll take one example of farm equipment. So in Europe or in US, they have a very large tractors where they have a front loader and a backhoe. So front
Okay.
loader is on a separate equipment which helps for certain activities in farming.
Right.
Backhoe usually for reaping, sowing, or digging. You can have a backhoe.
Right.
Now, a customer wants a tractor within a specific type of backhoe or front loader. They can actually go and demand these things to the dealership.
Right.
Now, a dealer can solely order tractors to the OEM
Mm-hmm.
and can split that demand with a different manufacturer for adding those equipments to the tractors.
All right.
So with this, you can actually meeting customer demand in one go, and
Right.
you are also trying to reduce the time. If the OEM is going to do everything, probably it may take some more time, but OEM will
Absolutely.
send you the tractor. You can have different equipment. Your team can, build that tractor in your premise and deliver it to customer. So it's highly customizable and it gives you that flexibility. So uh, with VMS, we usually implement variant configuration on super bomb concept. Super bomb is bill of materials.
Okay.
Okay. So variant configuration gives you a flexibility to choose certain characteristics of vehicle.
Mhm.
So a customer comes say, no, I want say this particular color with interiors. I want beige. Seat covers. I want or the seat colors. I want black. The matting I want different. The tires has to be 6 inch, 16-inch alloy wheels. All these things, all these you can configure in VMS, and you can have those preferences logged in the system. Now, when we talk about these characteristics, they all have dependencies. Maybe with 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 a specific type of vehicle, a wheel has to be a specific size. Maybe a SUV needs a bigger size tires. A small car needs a small tires. You cannot really fit into these things. So this also gives you a way to manage these dependencies of the vehicle. So if you are
Right.
planning for a big car, you can have a specific type of tires. You can lock those dependencies on it so that a dealer will not go and just select anything, and later you will
Right.
find that it is not relevant for this vehicle, we need to change it. So
Yeah.
you can save all those dilemmas. You
Right.
can bake these kind of a solution in VMS so that when a dealer is building a vehicle, he selects the right thing which are available only on that specific type of model or a variant.
Right. Compatible with the model,
Yes.
basically.
So the compatibility issues you will not face at the later stage. It is upfront. Dealer can see, can lock it. So that's a very good thing when it comes to variant configuration.
Right.
It also leads you to a bill of material concept. So super bomb is usually when you define. So I'll take one example. Say you were talking about Kia cars. So Kia Sonet will have different variations. Say
Right.
a VX, a ZX, or LX, or something.
Yeah. The price range increases as the variant
Variations goes up. The
yeah.
more features you want, the price will go up. But
Yeah.
at the OEM level, when you think about the master data, for each vehicle, if you keep on maintaining a different master, it will just quickly go into thousands and thousands or several thousands of material master it can go.
Right.
And you can just think about the permutation combination. If one vehicle, with one model, you can have different colors, different interior colors, different say tires, different matting, different seats, everything. And so it's a series. You quickly looking at the thousands of the variations. So this super bomb concept of bill of material concept gives you that flexibility. So you can have a super bomb which is at the your model level or a specific variant level. Say at the Kia Sonet, you have
Mm-hmm.
the model. You can create a super bomb of it. So what super bomb says is you can load all the possible characteristics on the super bomb, and from that the dealer can keep on choosing. So dealer can go, okay, I want to build a Kia Sonet. He'll go there and he will just keep on selecting things like a red color, 1.5 liter engine. It has to be a specific seating, all that thing, air conditioning. They can choose,
Right.
and with that you can have vehicle build very easily, and
Yeah.
then the vehicle bill of material will be prepared out of that set. So you are not basically creating a bill of material for each vehicle
Okay.
from a superset. You are just
Yeah.
creating your vehicle, so that reduces a huge amount of master data for
Right.
OEMs as well as for importers.
So
Yeah.
I think we would require another episode for this particular topic, and this was fantastic so far. And I want to discuss about this VMS, supply chain more. Thank you so much for your time, Aditya. It was lovely, lovely talking to you again. And let's have another episode for this particular topic. Let's
Yes,
do that.
we can definitely do that one on bill of materials and variant configuration. There
Yeah.
are new trends which are coming in SAP VMS where SAP is promoting a digital vehicle suite where you can have a digital twin for your vehicle. So just imagine a very big mining equipment is in play in a mine in a
Mm-hmm.
very remote area of say Australia or in India,
Yeah.
and you want to track the health of that vehicle sitting somewhere in Europe or in North America,
Right.
you can do that actually.
It's like treating like a human. I'm thinking that that person has all the data about the car
Yes.
with them sitting here. That's wonderful. Yeah.
These are the new trends which are coming up with SAP, and SAP is promoting them heavily. Usually, it was initially for the industrial manufacturing, so the large machines used to have digital twin for each tracking, but
Right.
it's a growing thing in SAP as well, where we can track the vehicle with a
Yes.
digital vehicle suite in SAP.
Yes. And definitely, you have to share one more thing with the audience out there is the roadmap of how they can show their love for automotive industry and vehicle management, everything, how they can start their career. You have to tell us more about in the next episode, I'm sure. So thank you so much for your time again, and soon we'll meet again and do another episode on bill of material and the latest trends on VMS supply chain.
Thanking you for your time and taking me in my memory lane of VMS.
Sure.
I'm really thankful. Thanks for having me.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much. You too. Bye.